is J.K. Simmons back on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, J.K.?
I am fine, thank you. And yes, I am still basking in my Buckeye glove.
As well,
I'm allowed to bask until next January, aren't I?
Well, I mean, you are the defending champs heading into this season, looking like you are a favorite to do it again right now, J.K., right? You think so?
But, yeah, which always makes me nervous. I don't like sitting in that favorite seat. I mean, the Tigers were a favorite in the Central Division, too, and here we are. I don't know.
See, now you're being very modest. I like it. I like it, J.K. You're being modest about it right now. Is that because you hear Jim Harbaugh's footsteps, potentially?
Well, you know what? I think it is time that the rivalry become an actual rivalry again.
I love it.
I mean, it's been embarrassing, hasn't it? Really, honestly, from anyone's point of view, it's like my high school team in Ohio going up against Upper Arlington. We thought they were our rival, and they thought we were like cockroaches.
So I'm trying to figure out who's the cockroach in this equation.
Well, I think the cockroach has been wearing maize and blue since Dressel started at Ohio State.
Oh, my gosh. J.K. Simmons joining me here.
But no, you're totally right. I agree. I don't know if this is the year, but I think next year, the year after, I expect it to be, a much more even rivalry again with Mr. Harbaugh pulling the strings up there in Ann Arbor.
Well, let's put it this way. It's a quarterback-driven sport. It doesn't matter what level it is. And when you got three guys like Ohio State has for Urban Meyer from which to choose, and Braxton Miller announced that he's going to stick around and compete for this spot, who do you think should eventually take the reins? Last we spoke, you thought Cardale should be given a chance again. Who do you think should take the reins this fall, J.K.?
I mean, it's obviously a win-win-win. On further reflection, Miller was the guy. Obviously, we're going to see who plays the best in practice leading up to our first game. But I would say Miller. If I had to pick now from one of the three, I'd say Miller.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that he decided to stay put. You think maybe he has some information potentially, but that doesn't seem like Urban Meyer that would just slip him some information. It seems like that he's just going to let him out there and compete when it's all said and done, when you think about it, J.K.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I can't imagine that he's, handed the job to anybody at this point. But, I don't know. Athletes have egos, man, and he was the man there, and I think he's pretty sure he can be the man again.
Terminator Genisys.
Athletes, I should say
Sure.
Athletes, unlike actors.
Well, yes, of course. We are egoless people when it comes. We're people first, J.K., right? Sportscasters and actors. Yeah, that's the way at least I look at it.
Fathers and husbands. And
yes, exactly.
Wonderful all-around human beings now.
Terminator Genisys opened in theaters last Wednesday, topped over $102.7 million around the world. J.K. Simmons, who's in that film, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Miguel Cabrera went down this weekend for your Tigers, J.K. How much consternation does that give you about your Tigers moving forward here?
Much consternation. It's a gigantically different lineup with Miggy in the middle of it, and we've had 3 games without him now. We've actually been scoring runs because JD Martinez is unconscious, and
he's been great.
We've been getting contributions up and down the lineup, but it's a gigantic hole, and we're going to have to try and pitch our way through the next 6 weeks, I think, and knowing Miggy, hopefully that 6 weeks turns into 5, and we get him back in time to go out there and win another batting title and bring us a division title.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, David Price has become the ace of this staff. Verlander just hasn't looked himself due to injury all year long.
Yeah, he's also, he definitely hasn't looked himself out, but really the last 2 starts, he's also just had some terrible luck, too. I think he hasn't pitched that badly. I think, I mean, fingers crossed. I'm optimistic about the second half for Verlander.
And you can't blame a pitcher for leaving your team for $210 million. It is remarkable what Max Scherzer has done in Washington when you think about it, JK.
He's been a great son of a bitch. How dare he leave our team for $210 million? What kind of world are we living in? That's crazy.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I took it the wrong way when I said that he was.
See, I can blame him. Turns out you were wrong.
He has been incredible. He has been lights out for Washington right now.
Been, well, I mean, the last 2 years, he's been, arguably the best pitcher around. He's crazy good. And again, the stuff's always been there, and I think he harnessed it. The last season, got his melon together, and really became the dominant guy that he's probably going to be in Washington for a long time now.
Yes, he is. I'm on the phone with Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons in the new Terminator movie. What was it like shooting a reboot of Terminator with Arnie on set, J.K.? What was that like?
Well, I was skeptical at first, and then when I saw the script, I really thought it was, fun and clever, and it had kind of everything you would hope that kind of movie would have. And honestly, it was very good that my character was in awe of Arnold's character and very intimidated by him, because that's pretty much the way anybody who meets Arnold in real life reacts. So it was kind of a no acting required kind of a gig.
Yeah, I mean, he is Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator role.
He's the governor. He comes walking into the room, and there's just like this. There's this charisma, this aura, this plus the biceps.
Yeah,
so,
there's that too. There's all of that too. Are you a Game of Thrones viewer, J.K., working with Emilia Clarke, or do you watch her role as Mother of Dragons as opposed to Mother of John Connor?
Apologies to the delightful Amelia.
Oh.
I have not been. And actually, Alan Taylor, our director, has directed
no kidding.
a lot of the Game of Thrones episodes. No, my wife and I started, we kept hearing how great it is. And then one night we thought, hey, we actually have 45 minutes. When we're not falling asleep yet, so let's turn it in. And we watched, the episode that just happened to be on at the time, episode, 4, season 3. And
right.
10 minutes in, we realized, we're going to have to start this from the beginning someday, because we have no clue what's going on.
It is truly worth your time, though, when you have a minute. I'm on the phone with J.K. Simmons. Before I let you go, how has the last 3 months been as an Academy Award winner? Just hearing that phrase attached to your name, J.K. How's that been for you?
Well, it's been awesome. I mean, the opportunity, and I had no complaints before. I've been very fortunate in this business to to work a lot and have good things to choose from. But the opportunities have increased exponentially, and it's like I wake up every morning, turn on the phone, and go, oh, there's 3 more offers. Which one am I going to pick? That might be a slight exaggeration, although that literally was the case this morning. And more opportunities just brings sort of. I feel like I'm in the driver's seat a little bit more. There's a few films that have come my way recently, and they asked me to get involved. And one of them was shooting in Romania, one of them was shooting in Texas, and I said, you know what, I got a wife and kids at home, and I really, the only way this would work for me is if there was a way we could shoot it in L.A. And they said, okay, we'll shoot it in L.A. So that honestly has been the coolest part of the whole process of my elevated visibility at this advanced stage of my career.
Well, you deserve it. I told you that before. I'll tell you every single time you come on the show. I was a huge fan of yours before I met you at the Big Slick a few years ago, and what you did in Whiplash was just par for the course as far as I'm concerned, and it truly was remarkable. So I appreciate it every time you take the time to call into the program, J.K.
Yeah, thanks, man, and thanks for honoring our contractual obligation that you have to mention that.
No, I don't read fine print. I really don't, J.K. You should see my life's a mess.
No, I know. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And then Big Slick, that was unfortunately this year I wasn't able to go because our whole family was chasing my son. We were my 16-year-old son's entourage as he went on a European tour with the Los Angeles Youth Orchestra. So,
Wow.
I was across the pond this year when Big Slick went down.
This is remarkable, JK.
Nobody knows what we're talking about, do they?
No, this is great because, again, we talked about this the last time you were on it, just a couple weeks after you won the Academy Award for your role in Whiplash. Your dad was involved in music, and so was your character from this film. So your son is now in that world as well?
Yeah, and believe it or not, in the LA Youth Orchestra, he plays percussion. So my daughter plays a little drum set too. So it's definitely there's a lot of synchronicity there.
So does your son play your type of tempo, or is there an issue with that, JK?
Yeah, I honestly had no complaints.
Okay.
At least, the Russell Steinberg is the conductor. I am merely the parent of one of the two percussion guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was an awesome trip, though. It was really cool.
Well, congratulations on that, JK. And let's chat as the football season begins. And certainly, let's circle a date in late November, leading up to a certain Saturday, for you to call back in, or maybe even if we're so fortunate that you are in the area, to come in studio, and let's chop it up if we can.
Do you really think that's wise?
You know what, JK? I'm feeling it.
I'm down for it.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
All right. Beautiful. I'd love to. Circle it.
Take care of yourself, JK.
Circle it in scarlet and gray.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Hey now.
Oh, my gosh. Take care of yourself, JK.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks. That's J.K. Simmons, Terminator Genisys, in theaters right now. Go see it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.